Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of October 10, Wednesday. I'm Riza Diaz. Now, as the Eagles' songs goes, love will keep us alive, but does it still ring true here in the Philippines given the current quality of life? Ria Fernandez has this report.
For the Paned couple, this tiny room serves as their humble home. They settled in Intramuros from Abra in 2002, hoping for greener pastures in the city. But 17 years and counting, a comfortable life proved elusive for the couple.
Pagka naghirap ka na rito sa Maynila, halimbawa wala kang hanap buhay, maisip mo yung probinsya, doon libre lahat kung meron ka. Pero kung wala ka naman, parang parehong Maynila rin po. Iniisip mo na kung anong gagawin mong hanap buhay para makasurvive ka.
They get by with selling noodles, but hospital expenses due to Australia's heart problem kept them from saving anything.
Kaso ngayon nga, mahal naman po kasi doon eh. Kaya lang, ako naman po sa ganitong sakit, mas gusto ko doon. Kasi talagang inaasikaso ka talaga doon.
In the 2019 Smart City Index of the Deutsche Bank in May, Manila ranked 54th out of the 56 cities surveyed. Lagos, Nigeria, and Beijing, China were at the bottom of the rankings. Deutsche Bank chose cities based on their world economy impact. Its research also found out that Manila has the lowest grade regarding purchasing power, safety, healthcare, traffic, pollution, and climate. For teacher Vivian Villanueva, who migrated to Indonesia with her family 10 years ago, life has never been better.
Kung ikukumpara ko, 10 years ago, ang Indonesia at ang Philippines, parang, mas nakita ko yung development ng Indonesia kesa sa Philippines. Parang degrading, pababa yung ng Philippines.
The Philippine National Police, however, says peace and order in Manila has improved and keeps on improving since President Rodrigo Duterte assumed office.
Maring mayroon silang ibang naging basihan. No? Pero kung titingnan natin ang datos, for the last 3 years nakita natin ang pababa na trend ng criminality. In fact, bumaba ng gusto ang krimen, ang bilang ng krimen since 2016.
Manila Mayor Isko Moreno meanwhile assures Manileños that he will work harder in restoring the capital city to its former glory.
This is just a tip of the iceberg. We will continue up to the last day of our mandate. Ayusin, i-clear, ang Bangketa, ang Kalsada. There are places that we tolerate.
For News 5, Ria Fernandez, we are One News.
And while the public struggles with their daily commute, the government gets a new luxury jet. Presidential spokesperson Panelo defended the government's purchase of this jet worth 2 billion pesos from the U.S. That's on top of other aircraft for the military. He says these are not meant for leisure, but for security and emergency purposes. It's still unclear whether the jets are a sign of better relations between Manila and Washington, but what's clear is that some groups have called the move insensitive given the current dismal situation of public transportation and commute in the country.
Kung may in times of crisis, di kailangan mo yon. Kaya nga crisis eh. Then there is necessity. Kung necessity, paano naman magwawaldas ka?
Meanwhile, Malacanang insists it will run after the ill-gotten wealth of the Marcoses, even after the Sandigan Bayan sided with former First Family, junking the second civil case lodged against them and their alleged cronies. Pala says there's always the option to file a motion for reconsideration. Panelo also said that despite the closeness of Solicitor General Jose Carida to the Marcos family, it would not affect the government's decision to appeal the Sandigan Bayan ruling.
Kung ill-gotten, we should always run after. Basta ill-gotten, hindi na kailangan tanongin yun. It should be a policy of all governments to run after ill-gotten wealth.
Vice President Leni Robredo and her 2016 rival for the post, Bongbong Marcos, will have to hold their breath for another week after the High Court decided to defer its ruling on the election protests. Dale De Vera has the story.
The waiting game continues for former Senator Bongbong Marcos against Vice President Leni Robredo after the Supreme Court decided to again postpone its ruling on the vice presidential electoral protest. In a text message, Supreme Court spokesman Attorney Brian Hosaka said the Presidential Electoral Tribunal did not take any action on VP election protest during the session. The case remains pending and is still being deliberated. A source told News 5 that the deliberations have been reset to next week, October 15th, just a few days before Chief Justice Lucas Bersamin retires.
Business as usual tayo and we'll just have to wait again. Nagbabantay at kahit paano nagtitiwala doon sa PET that they will decide on the basis of their own rules.
But the Robredo camp adds it will continue to urge the Presidential Electoral Tribunal to furnish them with copies of the recount report to dispel rumors and allegations.
Hindi mo maiiwasan na lumabas na yung balita, nandyan na yung report, nagsubmit na yata ng draft decision si Justice Kagiwa. Why the delay, di ba? So sa amin, the easiest way and the best way to actually dispel any of these rumors na actually hindi naman damaging sa amin pero damaging to the PET and the process itself is to come out with a report. Make it public. We hope that yung PET will see fit to act expeditiously doon sa latest motion ni Attorney Macalintan.
Marcos's camp says, like everyone else, they also patiently waited for the decision of the Electoral Tribunal that was moved again to the 15th. Until then, they have no statement to make in deference to the PET. Malacanang again kept its hands off the matter, saying it will leave it to the High Court to decide.
We will leave it to the tribunal to decide on its own whatever pending cases it has.
If Marcos wins in his 3 pilot provinces of Camarines Sur, Negros Oriental, and Iloilo, the recount will proceed to include other provinces and cities. But if Marcos loses, the electoral protest will be dismissed. For News 5, Dale De Vera, We Are One News.
Meanwhile, the palace insisting that there is no transport crisis in the country even as commuters and motorists continue to suffer the hellish traffic in the metro. Greg Gregorio will tell us why.
Despite the LRT2 resuming partial operations on Tuesday, Bayan believes that the Philippines is facing a mass transport crisis.
We have a mass transportation crisis dahil hindi po sapat yung transport systems natin para ho madala yung mga manggagawa at estudyante sa kanilang dapat paroonan sa araw-araw. I think kailangan matauhan na yung mga namamahala na hindi po acceptable itong ganitong nangyayari na yung 3 train systems natin sa isang linggo pare-parehong nag-breakdown.
However, Malacanang says there's no such thing. In fact, presidential spokesperson Panelo even believes that the mass transport systems in the country has already improved.
Ano bang ibig nila sabihin ng transportation crisis? Ang nakikita ko lang traffic, hindi yung transport na yan. Mayroong transportation naman. Kakasakay naman tayo lahat. Oo nga namang wala pa. Kasi nga, nakakarating pa naman yung mga dapat makarating sa kanilang papuntahan.
And for those who don't want to get stuck in traffic, here's an advice from Panelo.
May solusyon naman doon eh. If you want to arrive early in your destination, then you go there earlier.
Transport Secretary Art Tugade also claims that there is no transportation crisis. For him, what commuters and motorists are experiencing right now are just issues and problems. Tugade added that these concerns are now being addressed by his department through expediting various infrastructure projects like the Metro Manila subway, MRT-7, and the Subic-Clark Railway.
Today's weather is generally fair, but is this the calm before the storm? With the typhoon that with international name Hagibis drawing closer to the Philippine area of responsibility. So to give us the latest on this, we have with us on the line Benny Estareja from the Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Benny, good morning.
Good morning, Riza, and to all the viewers.
Benny, would like to know, is Typhoon Hagibis still poised to enter PAR?
As of now, we're seeing Typhoon Hagibis to less likely enter the Philippine area of responsibility.
Oh, that's good news then. But what is the exact location and the track that it's heading to?
As of 3 in the morning, Typhoon Hagibis was located at 2,020 kilometers east of northern Luzon. It has maximum sustained winds of 200 kilometers per hour near its center. and gustiness up to 245 kilometers per hour. Its current movement is northwest at 20 kph, and it's projected to make a landfall over central portion of Japan.
Is it affecting also the Amihan?
As of now, we're seeing this hagibis to enhance the northeast surface wind flow and not the northeast monsoon just yet.
And finally, how about other weather disturbances? Are we seeing any?
There are some cloud clusters over the east of Hagibis, which may develop into a low-pressure area as well. But over inside the area of responsibility as well as around it, we're only seeing Hagibis as the weather disturbance.
All right, thank you. That was Pagasa weather forecaster Benny Estareja. And here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Senate President Tito Soto says the bigger revelations are set to come once the Senate resumes its committee hearing on the alleged ninja cops. Soto did not clarify what exactly, only that a few witnesses and evidence will be presented later at the hearing at 10 in the morning. Heads up, Meralco bills will be seeing an increase this month after 5 straight months of decline. Business World reports that the power distributor will be hiking its electricity charge by around 9 pesos this month. This means that households consuming 300 kilowatt per hour will see a 13 peso increase in their monthly bill, while those using as much as 500 kilowatt per hour will have a 22 peso increase in their power dues. And this from the Free Man. Carlos Celdran, the 46-year-old cultural activist, has passed away. He made headlines for offending the Catholic Church after dressing up as Padre Damaso and staged a protest at the Manila Cathedral in 2010. In a Facebook post, Celdran's wife, Tessa, announced his passing due to natural causes in his house in Spain. Now, as of the moment, his family is already making arrangements to bring him home. Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. Another Filipino athlete has successfully booked a ticket to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Carlos Edriel Yulo now has a chance of taking home the evasive Olympic gold medal for the Philippines. That's after he qualified for the finals in the all-around floor exercise of the 49th FIG Artistic Gymnastics World Championships in Stuttgart, Germany. Now, the 19-year-old gymnast will be joining pole vaulter EJ Obiena to qualify for the biggest sporting event in the world, which will run from July to August next year. Netflix series Insatiable pulled all the stops when they visited the Philippines for their Season 2 promo run in the country. Now, the setup had a beauty pageant theme, complete with a lava walk and a glittered pink carpet. The Black-Pink comedy show's protagonists Dallas Roberts and Debbie Ryan graced the event, along with Miss Universe 1969 Gloria Diaz will also be part of the show. Now, during the event, the former beauty queen admitted that at first she thought that Netflix offer to cast her in the show was actually a joke.
They just vibered me, and I thought it was a mistake. I thought maybe they weren't referring to me, and you know, I get a lot of texts and vibers, and I didn't really answer it in the beginning, and then they vibered again on this, and I said, yeah. I said, okay, that's it.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be this 9th of October. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.